Hello and welcome to Good Games Well Played. I'm Clint, aka JCM. With us this week is Messiah.
Hello.
Did I say the episode number? I don't think I did. We're episode 219. Just in case I didn't. I was like, oh, yeah, just welcome to the thing. Izzy will not be joining us. He is out because it's Labor Day weekend. So I'm assuming he's already out and he would just message me like, oh, by the way, I won't be here because he's hiking or something. Not just like, oh, I forgot tomorrow is a holiday. I'm out today. Is the case because that's the way he said it in Discord. But yeah, not too much to go over this week. We did get the announcement for Sony's PlayStation Plus games for September, including Psychonauts 2, Stardew Valley, and Viewfinder. Viewfinder's a great game. Definitely play if you haven't. I thought Stardew Valley was already a PlayStation Plus game at one point. Maybe it was like one of those where like it was. I mean, that game's been around for a while, so it could have been like a couple years ago. It was for like a month, and then obviously it rotates out or what have you. So we'll see. But yeah, Viewfinder. It's a good title. Definitely play it if you haven't. And then on top of that, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle has some DLC that came out, but it's interesting. It's DLC that's kind of like reminds me a lot of Adam Falls DLC, where it goes along with the main story. It's not like a Souls game where you go there later. It's a separate thing. Like it's built, it's weaved into the narrative of the main game. So the DLC for Indiana Jones is kind of the same way. It's like, oh, it takes place after this one point in the game, so you can get to it. If you beat it, you can go back and get to it. I'm assuming because you can continue to play the game once it's finished and what have you. But they had to devise a method of how they decide to scale the difficulty of the DLC because obviously if you beat the game, you have like all the health upgrades and what other upgrades are in the game. I'm not familiar because I didn't want to spoil myself. I know like obviously health, and we assume anything that makes Indy stronger. Maybe there's some that can help them solve puzzles faster or something like that. So they had to create like a scaling system to be like, okay, if the player is at this point in the story, you're at difficulty tier 1. If they're this far, we do difficulty tier 2. That way it's not like, oh, I beat the game, I go back and do the DLC, and now I just steamroll through it because I have all the upgrades, which is kind of how it should be for most games. Like I wish more games do that. Like, hey, maybe the player is OP. Obviously, if someone's like, if it's a late game requirement to get it, it's like, okay, well, then they have to be late game to get here anyways. They're
Mhm.
probably pretty strong. Uh, like the Lies of P DLC, it's kind of like you had to get past chapter, I want to say chapter 9, before you could actually, like a certain point in chapter 9, before you could actually get there. So it's like pretty late in the game. It's like, okay, you don't have to worry about, difficulty settings and what have you. Or if you beat the game, you just go straight into it if you're on New Game Plus. But I like that I don't know how early in the game you can get to the DLC. I know in the Adamfall DLC, you can get there I think almost instantly if you find the message that tells you to go there because it's in the main town. You just go to this dock and there's like a dude, a boatman. He takes you over to this island. But yeah, I wish they had done something similar to that game because of how much it ties in to the main missions of Adamfall for that DLC. But yeah, it's cool to see. I'm excited. I still have to play Indiana Jones. I haven't gotten there yet. It's on my list of to dos. Other bit of news is that Atari snapped up a couple dormant franchises from Ubisoft, including Child of Eden, Cold Fear, Grow Up, Grow Home, and I Am Alive. And they plan to re release them on new platforms and maybe make sequels depending on how the re releases do. But it's interesting that Ubisoft just kind of like said, sure, go ahead. We'll give these, although maybe it's because it's like they could use the money, right? I guess. Because
Somebody actually was like, "We're not doing anything with these. We're not planning to do anything with these. Why don't we just get money for them?"
yeah, it's like yeah, we're good. I mean, Child of Eden could be interesting to see come back to uh, other stuff, but yeah, I'm a lot of these things. I'm like, yeah, I haven't even thought about these franchises in a long time, just because Ubisoft hasn't done anything with them. But I think there might be some others, or at least other ones that they're looking to do. But right now, those are the ones that they got. We'll see what happens there. Then Team Cherry confirmed that there will be lots of content for Silksong, similar to how they did for Hollow Knight. So it's like, hey, yeah, we plan to have more content for months and years to come, which is to be expected. But they're just like, hey, letting you know.
Mhm.
And then No Man's Sky had a big Voyagers update, which I think they said is considered the 6.0 of No Man's Sky. It has like a bunch of stuff, new tech, stuff that's being used in Light No Fire. So like just tech stuff, not necessarily gameplay things, but like tech things introduced. I think a lot of the multiplayer crew stuff they're doing with their ships
Mhm.
could be interesting. Um, that sounds
And
like it could be
you can like custom build ships now, I guess.
mhm. Yeah, they introduced a Corvette ship class. You could assemble ships. There's mission radar, autopilot in space. Spacewalking sounds really fun. Skydiving, new suits, starship interiors. Like, I'm curious, like, if the big freighters are going to have interiors as well. 'Cause I think, like, oh, I got a freighter. It's like, I can't really walk around a lot of it. Like, you put some storage in it, like, can't do much. Like, I can land my ship and go to the deck. But yeah, I'm curious how that'll go. That could be fun to do.
Well, they did say that you could build like mega structures now.
Hmm.
I guess like space stations. So maybe that's part of it. Like you just have a space station essentially. You turn your freighter into that, or you can have one that replaces the freighter. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't been paying much attention to No Man's Sky in the first place. It seems to come like out of nowhere, and every once in a while, I'm like, I'll see them announce like, "Oh, this is our biggest update yet," and I'm like, "How big is this game now? I might need to go
Yeah.
back and play it."
Yeah, I'm still like so early in the MSQ stuff. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like man, there's gonna be so much in there. It's like how am I gonna will I be able to experience all of it over the course of the MSQ or will I get sidetracked? But and then moving on, Crystal Dynamics announced that they're laying off some more folks following the Perfect Dark cancellation because obviously they were co-developing with that, but they've laid off an unknown number of folks because of that since that game fell through, which is kind of what we'd assume would happen when it got announced that it got canceled. Man, that's gotta suck too. Like, I wonder if there's anything in those kind of agreements between like Microsoft and Crystal Dynamics to be like, hey, we want you to help. We need your help co-developing this game because we're having trouble with it on our own. But are there contingency plans in place? Like, if this falls through, then we will help supplement, your folks for an X amount of time. Because, like, if it's great that they're getting work, unless it's like a thing where it's like, oh, we have people that need something to work on, and we got this opportunity, and it's like there's no obligation by Microsoft necessarily. It's like because you were overstaffed, hypothetically overstaffed to begin with. That when this opportunity came along, and allowed you to keep that staff on if they were more temp positions, I suppose. To where it's like, oh, if it falls through, well, then it's on you because you had too many people, or I don't know how they negotiate that kind of stuff because I don't know, that'd be rough to be like, well, or this fell through. It wasn't our decision. It's like it's someone else's decision.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, well, we got to leave people off now. So I'm interested. I wish they would say who, because like I said, if it was just like, oh, we're going to help, but we're working on our own thing, so we have to hire, because temp workers are something that happens. Like you always have temporary contracts in place for all and across a lot of studios. So I'm wondering if it was just temp people, like, hey, we'll bring you on to help with this, and then maybe there's room to transition to the other game that we're making because we'll have the funds fully from helping Microsoft with this game, and you can stay on for longer. Because like if it's temp people, like okay, I get it. Like it sucks for the temp contractors, but that's it's like okay, that's part of the business. Versus being like people that have been with the studio for years, kind of situations. Although I'm sure there's probably like temp contractors who they could frequently use over and over, who maybe once they go through like this, oh, you've been a temp contractor with us for multiple years, we'll hire you on, or it's like a path to hire if someone else leaves. It's like, yeah, let's bring them on because we do a lot. We've done that in the past, like at my job where we hired temp workers for the warehouse or what have you. It's like they temp for a while and they go, oh, now we have the budget or what have you to hire. Let's hire them on full time. It's usually, for a lot of cases, it's typically temp to hire. So I'm curious what it was for Crystal Dynamics, but obviously they're not going to give all those details out. It's unfortunate. And then the other thing I saw is that with the reveal of Battlefield 6, they had talked about, we're not going to have goofy skins. We're going to kind of keep it real. And I don't think they did goofy skins in any of the previous games. Maybe in 2042, they might have had, I don't remember skins being a thing. Like, oh, hey, we have to do some goofy stuff. But people like love the more realistic look of Battlefield 6. And like there's this big thing right now where like everyone's hating on Black Ops 7 and they're like, oh, Battlefield 6 is going to be the game to get. And so Activision's like, all right, well, we're going to get rid of the custom skins that people got in Black Ops 7, specifically for the multiplayer modes, not Warzone. So if you have the Warzone mode, you could still use your skins there. So it's not like your purchases are void. Like that's still the same. It's just you can't use those skins in multiplayer, which is still kind of, if you spent money on a skin, you're like, oh, I can't use that skin now, and team deathmatch or what have you. But they're like, nah, we're gonna lock those out. It's only gonna be real soldier skins in the multiplayer mode. Just like, okay, they're trying to win back some of those people who are going to be pivoting to Battlefield 6. But when I first saw the article, I thought like, oh, they're just stopping it altogether. I'm like, that's insane. You can't do that. Like, especially for the BR, which is why people typically buy the skins, is for the battle royale. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, they're not doing it for the battle royale. Okay, it's just the multiplayer stuff. And then let's see, do I have anything else tagged in here? Oh, I did see I mean, there's not much to comment on it, but that yes, there will be another Claire Obscura game coming.
Woo!
They teased it, but it's like, okay, we figured there would be a sequel of some type, but
Mhm.
the director of the game, she's like, hey, what it'll look like, what it'll be, we'll see. Where they have nothing yet to announce, but there will be more games, and that Claire Obscura is the franchise name, so
Yeah,
it'll be Claire
basically
Obscura
confirming what
stuff.
everybody thought it was going to be, but it's nice that it's, like, confirmed and it's like, "Oh, yay, more."
Yeah, so that's good. We'll see. It'll probably be a while before we see anything there. I mean, at least now they have all the tech done, so hopefully it doesn't take the turnaround's not that long.
Yeah.
Yep. And then yeah, they don't have anything else. That's pretty much it for the news. Like I said, not a whole lot. I know like Helldivers 2 is on Xbox, so there's articles about that. People playing it. I know Metal Gear Solid Delta came out. There's a lot of like tech analysis because it's Unreal Engine, and while Unreal Engine games look great, there's still some bumps that always have to get ironed out after release or whatever reason. And not much else outside of that. I saw people like modding Delta to play as Kojima on the PC version, which is really funny. I'm like, did you pull his model from Cyberpunk? Like, where'd you guys get the model from? I thought that was
Ground Zeroes, probably.
oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, because you could save him in that one mission.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be funny. I'm really curious how, because the studio was saying like, hey, if this does well, we would love to train the younger generation of developers to continue Metal Gear. And I'm like, okay, but do you do it with another remake? And then like, what remake do you do? Like, I would love a remake of 1, but that would be tough because with 3, they just took like similar to like the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy, where they took the wire work and all the layout of the stuff as the skeleton to underline the code, and then built everything else on top of it. That's why it's like it's a perfect match and what have you. And I think Demon Souls was something similar. Whereas that's what they did for 3. It's like, okay, we have all the underlying stuff, and we can just kind of like enhance the audio recordings, do some kind of scale upgrades to make it sound better. But with
Mhm.
Metal Gear Solid 1, like they'd have to totally redo everything. And the audio is probably, there's no way they can enhance it past a certain point that's like, okay, could you redo it? And because even in like Twin Snakes, they had to re-record some audio lines.
If they did it the same way that they did 3, there's no way they could make it the same quality as 3. It would have to just be like "Oh, this is a enhanced version." Otherwise, yeah, they would have to build it from the ground up.
Yeah, which would be cool. I wonder if they could take Twin Snakes, but that was only on the GameCube. So it's like, do you, could you do that? Not do that crazy backflip stuff, but like just take that because that already did it once, and then just build off that. Like, could that work? Or take like, I was gonna say, you replay it you go there in Metal Gear Solid 4, but that's on PS3, so you'd have to then get it off there. That'd be tough. Yeah, I don't know what they do, but it'd be nice. It'd take much longer. I'm curious how long the dev time was on Delta, but yeah. Uh, yeah, that's pretty much it for the news. Go ahead and move on to what we've been playing. You've been out for a couple weeks because you've been really sick. So I'm assuming you didn't
Mhm.
play much while you were sick, except for maybe like easy, just single click games or stuff like that. Have you played anything since you've gotten better?
Not really. Once I started feeling better again, I was going into 14 and doing like there's a couple seasonal events. Right now I did those and then also working on the getting gear from the new raid. So I would basically after work, as long as everything goes well, I can get like 2 runs of the raid in, but if the queue's too long or if we die too much, I get like 1 run. So I just would do that basically every night. And then other than that, just playing Ragnarok. But I did get a very weird itch to go play the whole Trails in the Sky series, like the Tales of Heroes series, because I always hear about it and I always hear that it's really good. And then they announced that I guess the first game is getting a remake on like PS5 and I think Switch too. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. But I was like, I see it in the news again. I'm like, oh, that's right. I wanted to go and play those games. So I broke out my totally legal little retro game machine and I got the PSP version of Trails in the Sky. So I started playing that a little bit. And then also today, I found out that the Blue Protocol MMO, I guess, gotcha MMO. I don't know what it is yet. I haven't really paid attention. It just looked pretty, and I wanted to play it. They have a beta version out today or yesterday. I don't remember. So I downloaded that. Basically, I have a lot of things that I want to do and not the time to do them. So I usually just crash out and end up playing Ragnarok.
Yeah. I've never heard of Trails in the Sky. I'm looking at the
Really?
Wikipedia right now. Never heard of it.
It's
It's
like
it's because it's a 2004 role playing game. Is why I've never heard of this.
yeah, it's pretty old. But it's the Tales of Heroes series, and there's like 3 Trails in the Sky games, and then it moves on to like Trails of the Dawn or something like that. It's the same series, but it focuses on different places in that world or on that like planet, different like countries and stuff. So it's always been on my list of like things I have wanted to play or experience because I hear very good things about them, kind of like cult classic kind of thing. And then once I saw that that remake was coming out, I was like, oh, I really should play that. It's been on my list forever. And I do have a way to kind of like get into it easily. So I have that. I'm not very far into it though. Maybe like less than an hour, but it's very cute and I'm kind of excited to actually get into it.
Yeah, June 2004. I would have been just started my job, and like a couple months earlier, and I was like, that was the point where it's like there was just I had no real internet quite yet, or I wasn't like browsing the internet. I was
Mhm.
doing, playing games, hanging out with friends. So I was like, I wasn't locked in, didn't have game subs or like a magazine subscription, so I wasn't seeing like there's like this era of time where I didn't have it right. Was using a PC at my grandparents' house, but I just wasn't paying attention. I wasn't locked in. Like there was a big blind window of time
Yeah.
post high school and then working where it's just like I wasn't paying attention because I'm looking at this. I'm like, it came out on PSP, PS3, PS Vita, later to Android, iOS, and I'm like, I've never heard of this game.
It's
Um,
definitely one of those franchises that if I had known about it or if I had experienced it, I probably would have played it from like the get-go, but it's just one of those RPGs that kind of like slipped through, kind of like the Tales of series. I played like Tales of the Abyss and actually I think that's the only one that I've played through. Oh no, I played Tales of Symphonia as well, but those as well just kind of like slipped past my RPG radar, so I never really got into them the way I got into like Final Fantasy and all that. So
Yeah. Yeah, I started Tales of Symphonia because I don't know why I had a GameCube, but I had one, and I was like, "Oh, the anime cutscenes always seemed really cool to me." And then I
Mhm.
I remember playing it. I didn't play it that long though, and then I think because it was like, yeah, because when did Tales of Symphonia come out? That would have been November. Yeah, it looks like November 19th, 2004 or sorry, in
Mhm.
North America it was July 13th. But when did US release date. When did FF11? Yeah, because FF11 came out when no, when was FF11 Chains of Prometheus or PS2 release? When was that? PS2 release date, North America. Um March 23rd, 2004 is when it came out on PS2. So I would have been playing that in
Yeah, same.
2004. So that's probably why I missed it because I was playing FF11 on PS2 like all the time.
Same.
So and then that and then Guild Wars on PC. So no wonder I would have missed it. It's like I was already locked in with the MMO. It's like, yep, don't got time for anything else. Yeah, I've always thought that about like, should I go back and play some of those old games or like classics? But I was like, oh man, are there gonna be like mechanics? I'm like, oh, I wish they had this from nowadays or yada yada. But I don't want to be like bummed out. Or I'll look at games that are on sale on Steam and I'm like, oh, should I play this? Like, it's in a genre that I kind of like, and then I always check reviews on it. Like, and there's that thing now. It's like, this review, when it launched, and it's like this review, 2023, is it worth
Mhm.
playing? That 2024 is it like, have these games been updated enough towards like whatever was wrong with them or janky about them to begin with was good now. So yeah, and like I said, that game's out on so many platforms. You can like go back and retry something on like mobile where it's a little easier. It's like okay,
Yeah.
have windows of opportunity to play there a little more increased outside of home, what have you.
And these series specifically, they, from what I understand, they've kind of evolved their battle system, but it's still turn-based, like centric.
Hmm.
So I guess the remake of the first one, Trails in the Sky, that's coming out is still turn-based, but it's more like the more recent games that came out. And then I guess there's also like there's another one coming out soon or came out recently that they're kind of basing it on. I don't know. I tried not to look too far into it because I was like, okay, if I'm gonna get into this and play it, I don't want like spoilers, I guess, even though they're kind of like region centric stories and they have their own little arcs and everything. But I was like,
Hmm.
I just want to dive into it. I have a list of the games in their release order. So when I'm just finding like the most recent made one. So like the first Trails in the Sky I think was like a PS1 game. And then they released the PSP version which had like a little bit of upgrade to it. So I was like I'll just get the PSP version because I can play that very easily. So I got that and then the second one or it's like SC or something like that. I don't know. They've been on my list for a long time. I need to like look at the list again, but I was like I'm just going to start with number 1 and if I get into it we'll go from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like there I found like a release order for it and I was just like, I'll find the second one and whatever platform I can play that on is most recent, I'll play that one.
Yeah, that's right. Just whatever I can do that's available.
Whatever I have access to, I will go ahead and play that.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been playing too much. I played I was playing like Icarus. I was doing like one of the final missions. It was like this really long one. I think I might have talked about it last week when I was still in the middle of it. It was like this mission. You had to go down like they give you like 24 hours, and you had to kill all three major bosses in on the map, and then also like go across the map to collect something, and then to another biome to collect something else. So it's like it sends you everywhere. And it was really fun to do. It's like doing all the prep, building up, getting the gun, doing all that kind of stuff. Go kill uh one of the bosses, and I got to move across the map to go do another one. But I was like prepping, doing all the stuff. I'm like, oh, I got to go fight the scorpion boss. It's like, okay, I remember doing him in a different mission. So I go to where it's at, and then I'm walking through like the desert, and I notice like there's like disturbance in the sand on my way there. I'm like, what the hell? I was like, did they add roaming sandworms to the map? I don't remember this. And so I'm like, I get up to the like arena where you have to fight the scorpions, like this flat like rock area. But then I see like the disturbance underneath the ground. I'm like, what the hell? The sandworm can come over here? I was like, it was annoying because it's not the one the sandworm I had to kill. Like the big sandworm boss I had to kill is in a different part of the map. And I was like, okay, now I gotta wait for it to go away so I can fight the freaking scorpion. So I fight the scorpion, and then I finish up. I quit because the kid like got home like when I did it, and then I went back in the game like, all right, let's go finish this mission. And I had quit, like, right there at the arena, so I quit. So when I came back, I walked up and, the I guess I spawned in, and the sandworm that patrols was right there and popped up and started fighting. I'm like, "Okay, I guess I'll just kill this sandworm real quick because 'cause I'll get exotics." Send it back up to the ship, and then but the scorpion boss also respawned, I guess. Good, and I'm like, "Oh, damn it." And then they're both there, but then the sandworm aggro's the scorpion, so I'm like, they fight, and I shoot one. Then I killed the sandworm, but I didn't have enough ammo on my gun to want to fight the scorpion again. And I also didn't. I make all these little hedgehogs, like these little sharp sticks that point in one direction, kind of like uh, those tire, stoppers that drive through or driveways. Like you can only go one direction. If you go the other direction, it pops your tires. So it's like it's essentially that, like little caltrops made out of wood, I guess. And with the directional. So I'd put those usually around it when I'd run through them, so the scorpion always goes through them and takes extra damage. But I didn't have them set down. So then the scorpion was there. I'm like, okay, well, I got to go up to the sandworm to get the exotic. So I got to run up, press F to search it, click them, put them in my inventory. I'm like, but I got to do this all while triggering the scorpion boss who pops out of the ground beneath you. And I'm like, maybe I could sneak up, and then it pops out below me. And I'm like, God damn it. And it was like this dance of trying to get these damn exotics off the freaking sandworm. But yeah, then I did it, and I ran across the map. I collected the thing. I go kill the other sandworm in the location. And then I'm like, all right, let's go do the final thing. And I had to go collect these crystals from this ice zone. And I hate the ice zone because the Arctic scorpions are just like, they're too big and I hate them. And they're really tough. So I'm like, I'm sneaking through there. I pass one, and then I go get the crystals, and it's like, oh, the crystals, you pick up a stack and 100 of them, but then they slowly melt over time, whatever. I'm like, damn it. So I'm like, I'm on a time limit to get back to the ship to send them up. So I'm like, okay, I'll grab 2 stacks and then run. Every time a stack depletes, or one depletes, I'll just restack it up with 100 to kind of restart it. And I was like, it was a race against time just to get back. And I finally did. I was like, oh, thank God. So I finished that. Now I think I have 2 main missions left on the starting planet, and then I just have the DLC. And I think for the DLC, I'm going to actually go in and not do the mission structure, but do the open world mode for the second planet you can do. That way I can at least call down my missions, go and do them, but have the persistent stuff set down. Because I do like the mission structure on the main one, but I'm like, I want to do, especially for those longer ones where it's like I have to build up and prep. It's like it'd be easier if I want to play more consistently to have all my stuff there for the DLC stuff. Because yeah, just a little better to do it that way. And I played so many hours of doing the mission style, which I still love. But yeah, for those, I'm like, I'll just do open world. I just got to find a good spot to build. Other than that, I haven't been playing too much else. I've been put together a lot of Warhammer this week. I had a bunch of stuff I had to put together. I bought I had some gift cards, so I purchased like this dreadnought thing. It's part of the Space Marines, and put that thing together. And it was funny because like I got this part where it's like, for whatever reason, the arms you can articulate, like you can make them the shoulder part turn, and they can also, like, the arms can rotate themselves. So the way the arms actually get locked in is it's just got like this T post on it, and you like put it in the slot and you rotate it to lock it in. I'm like, why would you build it that? It was like, I don't know who's building their arms. I guess if you wanted to paint them individually and put them in instead of gluing them, I'm like, I guess. So I put in one arm, it like went in fine, a little stiff, and I went to go put in the other arm, and I was trying to rotate it and it just wasn't going. I was like, well, I can't do too much pressure because I'm holding onto a piece that's glued on to another piece, and it's just going to snap off. So I was like, how the hell do I get this in? And I'm like, I'm like, okay, I must have to like sand down the T-post because I'm guessing the tolerance of the body that the shoulder joint I'm trying to put it in is too thick versus the space in between the T-post of the shoulder of the arm to where the T-peg is. And I'm like, okay, I have to sand it. So let's look at it. So I Google it. I'm like, this is a pretty old model. The model's been around for a couple years now. They haven't had done any revisions to it. So like, all right, let's Google it. Reddit, and there's like a Reddit post from like 2 years ago. So I was like, how do I get it to fit? And some guy's like, he's like, you got to sand down the bottom of the T post. And he's like, he shows a little diagram. It looks like a PlayStation analog stick. And he's like, and the red parts where he's saying out. So just confirming what I thought I had to do. But it's like, it was funny because all the comments underneath them were like, because this was from like 2 years ago, and all the comments were like a year ago, 10 months ago, 8 months ago, 6 months ago, saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like all these other people having this problem, finding the one post that gave them the solution. I'm like, it's always funny when you find stuff like that where it's like, hey, this was a common problem. There was one solution, and everybody's thanking the dude that they're keeping the post alive. So I was like, okay. So I did that, put it together, and it was good. I'm like, okay, thank God. But what's annoying is like there's this one part where, so I guess the idea is that this isn't a robot. It's like a manned unit. And there's a version of this where there is a dude you can put who's in the cockpit. But this one, like, I guess they're behind like some stuff like lower wise. So, but it still has like this opening chest part where you don't glue it in. It's just you put it in there. It's like, okay, it articulates up and down. It's like whatever. But there's this bottom piece where you had to glue on like the bottom part of the hatch onto a little part that swivels. So it's barely connected. But when you go to swivel it, like all the stress of the swivel is on the part where you put it together. So it's just like, oh my God, you can't, how are you supposed to articulate this little piece? It's just going to break off. And I kept having that problem. I'm like, I don't think I'll be doing that functionality at all. Like I have to do it when I paint it, but it's like, why would you design it this way? So it's like I just put it back on, I got it in place, put all the liquid cement in there, and then just left it to dry. Like I let it cure for like 24 hours. I'm like, okay, now at least it's a little stronger. I think I might have to go back and maybe on the inside of it put some super glue. I just have to make sure I don't hit the internal spot where it's rotating around, but at least like reinforce the connector to make sure that it stays in place. But yeah, it was super frustrating. And it's funny when I look at it, like you can see where I put it together because I fit it together perfectly, but it wouldn't close all the way when I rotated the bottom part of the imagine like the suit that Sigourney Weaver wears in Aliens, the little loader. It's like that where it has a top part that comes down, but also has a bottom part that comes up. So the bottom part was just like I put it on and it just wouldn't close all the way. But whenever I went to go close it all the way, there was like a slight bit of friction of the little piece that would cause it to just pull off. So you could see like where it pulled off when I went to go close all the way, and I just all right, put more liquid cement in there and just chemically melt that shit together because drive me bonkers. But yeah, it was
Just fuse these things together and never think about it again.
yeah, there's another part too. It's the first piece I've ever put together where it's like these don't glue together. I'm like, okay, for the top hatch I get because like where it sits, it's like it won't fall out. I mean, I guess it could if you pulled it like super hard, but it's like it'll be fine. But then like there's this one part on the arm where essentially it's the elbow joint. They go, okay, for the elbow joint, you put the hand like the forearm of the hand goes into one side of an elbow joint and the way it sits makes it lock in place with essentially this gauntlet. So it's like, okay, it can't pop out because it bumps into something else. But then the other part of the elbow to lock it in is like this round piece with the square peg. It goes, oh, you just push it in, and that's supposed to hold it together. And that's also kind of prevented from popping out by the other side of the like Mega Man looking gauntlet piece. And I had it pop out. I'm like, okay, I'm fucking over it. So I the other day I took it and I put glue on where the square peg goes down. And obviously you don't want the glue to hit the part of the elbow that lets the center part that lets it rotate up and down. So I didn't do that, but I was like, I'm gluing this bitch together. I'm not doing that pop in nonsense that you're telling me because it's gonna pop out and I'll be so pissed off. And there's like these other two pieces, these like little guns that you put on that are like they're pretty loose. But they're like on these there's on these circular pieces and they have the same thing where part of the frame prevents them from popping out. Like if the frame wasn't there, they would, but it's only covering like a quarter of this circle piece. But they're guns that are on swivels next to the cockpit, so you can rotate them up and down if you wanted, like to a certain degree. I'm like, I guess, like, I don't know why I need that much freedom of movement for this part. And it's like, if those things bug me, I'm like, I'm just gonna glue this together. Those don't need to move. Like, I don't know why you would want to move those at all. But yeah, just weird articulation in this model. I'm like, I don't know why you would. I guess, man, people gonna play, I guess who move their shit way more than anybody else, I suppose. But yeah, because like all the other models I got, like they're monopose, and there's a couple that like you can put in different positions. Like I think the Lictor I bought for the Tyranids, like you can put in different poses, but once they're in the pose, they're in the pose. And I'm curious, like how many other. I think maybe some of the vehicles, like the tanks, might have a little bit where they have like a little gun on the side that can rotate, or maybe a turret on the top that can rotate. But I'm wondering if it's just like the mechs that do it, because I think everything else is like whatever pose it's in that you pick, like you glue that shit in place. But yeah, it was fun putting them all together, and I got all these little dudes with the shields, and I can't wait to paint the shields to look like ivory. They're gonna be a lot of fun, but I just gotta get all this stuff. But yeah, and that I haven't playing too much. I kind of wanted to go back. I think I talked last week to Isley about it. It was like with the Dawn of War, we were recapping game opening night live. They announced, Dawn of War 4. I was like, oh, I should go back and replay, like, because I think all the Dawn of War games were on sale, and they just had the Dawn of War 1 remaster, whatever, come out. I was like, I should, because our RTS games, like, I should go back and like play those because I'll be interested in trying out Dawn of War 4. And it was funny. He was like, man, I really wanted to play Pacific Drive, but the game's not on sale. I'm like, that game is always on sale. So then, like, a couple days later, sure enough, it goes on sale again. I'm like, there you go, Isley. Now you can play Pacific Drive, which I'm sure is what he's going to be doing. But yeah, I have so many games on my wish list. I keep looking at them like right now, Sniper Elite Resistance is on sale for 20% off. But I'm like, I just got too much to play. I got the Lies of P DLC. I want to play that Shinobi Art of Vengeance game that just came out. I also want to play the Ninja Gaiden one that came out, but it's like I just gotta wait. And there's too much stuff coming out in September. It's like Silksong's in a couple days, like that comes out Thursday, and then Dying Light the Beast is the 18th. Hell is Us is also on Thursday, so I'm waiting to see reviews on that. to see how that goes. And then like there's other stuff that comes out. Chronos New Dawn comes out in September. A bunch of other things that come out, and I'm like, man, it's too much in September. So I think too is like if Hell is Us is like a 7, like okay, I'll be interested in it, but because it's $50 and Silksong doesn't have a price yet, which is weird.
Supposedly, it's supposed to be like $20, which is
Yeah, if
strange, but
it
okay.
yeah. I think if it's if like Silksong's like an 8, 9, and Hell is Us is like a 7, it's like, okay, I guess I'll play Silksong first and then
Mm,
Hell is Us later. But I am interested in Hell is Us because it sounds like they're kind of doing the Souls-like thing of or kind of like Elden Ring, I guess, where it's like they don't hold your hand and tell you where to go, like you got to pay attention. And then obviously in Elden Ring, they give you a little bit of guidance with the grace, like, hey, kind of go this way. But like overall, they're not like super like, how do I get here? Oh, you got to get the lift of Dectus. It's like, which I think you can. One, you find that one piece you find, I think, easily, and then tells you about the other half, which you have to go find later. But
mhm.
uh, yeah, I kind of like the idea of like, ooh, I went around. Isley said he wasn't a big fan of the demo they had for it, which I didn't realize they had a demo. But that's a wait and see for me. I mean, and I'm definitely still curious about Chronos the New Dawn. So it's just, well, stop playing. Um, so I clicked on it and auto plays in Steam. But yeah, I'm curious how that's going to do. So hopefully reviews for that come out soon, so I can check those out and maybe listen to some podcasts that release before Thursday and people talk about them. That way, I can hear some opinions on it. But yeah, other than that, like I said, not playing a whole lot. Stuff I should be playing, I just haven't had a lot of time. Just been doing Warhammer instead. Um, but
Same.
yeah, it's just too much. I gotta find something that I can play. I almost played No Man's Sky last night, but I've also been catching up on like shows as well. Doing new season of Peacemaker. Finally started watching more Andor season 2. So it's just like catching up on stuff. I really want to go back and play more of the Altars. I played a little bit of it last week. I like hopped because I was at the start of chapter 2 or act 2. So I was like, okay, that's a good because I stopped there, it's a good place to just go back in. I'm not like in the middle of like, oh, here's the problem, fix it. Like it's right at the start of that chapter. I can go back in. I play a little bit more of it, and I really want to play more of that game. But it's just like I need to uh, find some good times. Also, because I've been doing everything else. I haven't really been streaming that much. I streamed a little bit on Wednesday, doing some Warhammer, putting that together, but not too many games. But yeah, just a lot of stuff coming, a lot of stuff in the backlog. So
I have like a backlog of things that I own. I have a backlog of wish list. Half of my Steam wish list is on sale at any given time. I'm just like, I can't. I need a sabbatical. Could I take a sabbatical?
yeah.
Video game.
I took half a Wednesday off, and then I took Thursday off for partially because I went to a concert Wednesday night, and then also because of some other stuff, some family stuff. But I was like, I took those off, and then I was like, I think I'm just gonna start taking like maybe the last day or two of every month off, just because that's like the most dead. Like that's the other thing is like I
Mhm.
I have a lot of vacation time, but it's like if I take any time off, that just means stuff is gonna pile up. Like
Yeah.
I have less time to do things, and it's like okay, I need to. That's why end of the month is usually the best time to take any sort of time off work. Yeah, I should. I guess if Izzy's actually going to play Pacific Drive, I should go back and play more of that because I was having fun. I'm not super far. I thought though if I play it again, I might rebuy it on PC just because I feel like playing it on control was fine, but there's a lot of like, okay, you gotta put it in drive, you gotta click this thing, and you gotta go turn the ignition and then do this, and I'm like, a lot
Mm.
of that with the control is like, okay, this would just be much faster if it was with a mouse.
A lot of like minute control that you can just very quickly click.
Yep, exactly. That's like we're talking about that game PVKK, which was announced at Open Night Live. It's like a kind of like a cozy game meets like it's like I don't know if you saw that trailer, but like you're in a bunker. It's by the people that did Dome Keeper, and it's like a first person. You're in a bunker, like, and you man this like giant planetary cannon and like stop like invasions or whatever. But like you're in the bunker and there's cozy stuff. You like fix your control panel. You do all these other. You walk around like okay, this seems like it'd be fun, but definitely it's a point and click kind of thing where I want to play it on PC, not on console, just to make it a little faster, especially. But yeah, I don't know. I should play Pacific Drive. I keep wanting to play that game Ready or Not, but I got to get my cousin to play it. But at least Battlefield 6 will come out. We still got a ways to go. Yeah, because Battlefield 6 it is. And they still got another closed beta. That's on October 10th. I mean, I just want to play more Battlefield. It's like it was so nice to have a multiplayer game for 2 weekends to play. and just hop in, play a match, play a match, play a match, and like I gotta wait freaking 6 weeks, man, to like, play again. Sucks, but oh well. Okay. All right. Well, I guess that'll do it for this one. Like I said, I don't have anything else. Oh, did I take any notes? I've been trying to do better about taking notes of game stuff. Oh, that's right. Oh man, I want to talk about Death Stranding. We're gonna do this thing where
Oh.
we were gonna talk about Death Stranding, where we're gonna have Isley guess the story, and then we're gonna see how close he was to getting it right. But man, there was. I guess we talk about that for a little bit, real quick. Because I talked about gave my overall thoughts, spoiler free, on the podcast. I want to say 2 weeks ago,
Mhm.
after I beat it. Had a lot of fun. I really like a lot of the characters. That scene, man, where I like. It's so funny hearing people like, I don't like Higgs. I don't like Higgs. I'm like, okay, I guess. I mean, that's fine. I understand if you don't like Higgs, like in either of the games, I guess. But like, I really liked Higgs in this one. I thought it was just a lot of fun to see Troy Baker just be really crazy as Higgs. But
I love a good weird villain.
mhm,
I Higgs is like peak villain for me. I love when they're just like a little bit off where you're like a little bit creeped out by it, but then they go away and you're like, "Oh, wait, come back."
yeah, that scene when he's burning Sam with the guitar
Mhm.
and like if the fire comes back because of the chiralium in the air every time he gets repatriated. I was like, holy shit. I thought there was like gonna be some weird Metal Gear Solid 3, like the uh the end or
The microwave hallway.
not the micro I'm thinking of the Sorrow, where it's like the way you beat
Oh,
that.
yeah, yeah.
You beat how you beat that boss, like, "Oh, there's some kind of secret, like, I'm not just supposed to keep going back to my body, like, there's something else that I do." And it's like, there wasn't, it's like all the friends come in and help you out, which I thought was really great. Like, Tomorrow just kicking ass is just so much fun, and just beating down Higgs is great. But,
Mhm.
like, that it was so messed up. I was like, "Man, Sam just getting messed up." Uh, I really liked I again, I didn't spoiler talk it, but I really liked eventually how Neil's story went, where it was like they kinda painted like, "Oh, he's this guy who has an affair with Sam's wife, who was a therapist, and, oh, the baby is his, not Sam's, when his wife was pregnant." And it's like, "Okay, is that where you're going with this?" Like, very kinda cliche kinda stuff. But I
Mhm.
love the twist where it's like, no, that's not what happened. It's Sam's baby, but because he's a repatriate, that she knows they're gonna experiment the shit out of that baby. So like we
Yeah.
gotta pretend like it's yours, and then you have to take care of it. So that's why they do the whole BB BB cover up on the back end. That whole storyline is like, how does this all play out? And it's like, so I thought that was great. And then saving Lou in the uh, I guess on the beach, I suppose, the war beach, and that's where Neil in I don't want to call it the afterlife because that's not what that is, but like taken care of, and that's why Tomorrow is all grown up because the way time works there or what have you. Um, like I didn't see that coming, but I love the whole story of just how and then the void out you heard about in the first game where how his wife dies, and that void out that's caused in I forget what that city's name is. It's like it's Neil's BT that gets Sam because it's following along to when they take the body or whatever, and, like, it hits him and then causes the void out. I thought that was really cool to kinda tie it back to an event mentioned in the first game.
Mhm. To kinda, like, loop everything back together, how it was all tied from the beginning.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I was like, "Oh, man, I really like." Where it's like, with, Cliff Unger, it was like, "Oh, it's his dad." And it's like, "Okay, that's cool." It's like, "But how is" I was like, "How the hell is Neil gonna fit into this?" And it's like so I thought that was really cool. I like that. It did take a while to get there. I think it took a while for the Mads Mikkelsen stuff as well. But, and I like all those fights with him. I thought those are some pretty fun boss fights. The way they changed it up versus what it was with Cliff in the first game where it's like just very straightforward, sneak around the battlefield, take out the skeleton soldiers and then fight them. Whereas like you have that underwater level with the finger of death that comes down and freezes and you can shoot it. I love that bit where I was like, can I shoot this thing? Because it doesn't highlight red, like, you know,
Mhm.
and it's like, oh, you can shoot it. It's like, oh, cool. So like I love that intuitive kind of like, can I do this? Yes, it'll let me do this. And then like the low gravity nature of that boss arena because you're underwater is really fun. And then the weird bus section where everything's going all gravity's getting all weird. Uh, that was fun. But yeah, I really like those. And then just the mech boss fights are just a lot of fun too. There
Oh,
was
they're
that bit
so cool.
that mission where you go and you're trying to connect up South Knot, and it's like it's just, shit's going down. There's all the robots. There's like fire falling from the sky. The DHV Magellan is gonna be there to provide its firing support. And like you go down, and I picked up one of those big mechs that has the giant gun, and I picked up the gun and I'm carrying it across the bridge to the city. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna keep this in case there's more stuff. And it's like I was carrying it forever because you walk so slow, and I'm like, all right, never mind. I'm just gonna put it down. So I put it down, and then I walk 10 more feet, and then it triggers a boss fight. It's like, "God damn it, I gotta have the gun."
He did the same thing. He's like, I'm just gonna keep the gun." And then at the very last, like, bit, he's like, "I'm gonna keep this gun, I'm just gonna walk." And so he walks and walks and walks and walks, and then nothing happens. He's like, "Shit, now I gotta go back and get all my stuff."
Yeah, it was funny because like I think one of them was there because there was two of them because I one like was pretty close and I was like, but I wanted mine because it had I was like, oh, I already have this one. It has a decent amount of ammo. But I think I might have been able to go back and get it. I forget, but and I just did that boss fight. And I was like, damn it, I knew it. I should have carried it. But yeah, but yeah, I still think overall there should have been more. The lack of BTs and then the the brigands not being quite as challenging as the mules in the first game because they're not scanning you.
Mhm.
It definitely feels like the game was easier overall. I know there are probably more optional BT stuff you could do versus just like, hey, as you travel through the game, there's like way more BT zones in the first one uh, than this one. But that was my only the only downside. But yeah, I all the extra stuff tools they give you, I didn't really use all 'em. I love at the end when it tells you like how many things you built, how many things you used, how you traveled the most, what you put down that other people used, and like the most what got the most likes. And it's like generators are always like the most common because they're so good. Like you just put a generator at the end of the chiral network coverage, and it's like everyone's gonna use that shit, especially if they got a vehicle. It's like you stop there, power it up, then go do your thing to get the next section on. It's like it's such a
Mhm.
generators are just really strong. I because and there's so much less time fall in this one that like the time fall shelters just don't come into play really. And I felt like those are really strong in the first game because like, oh, go into this repair my packages and what have you. I just feel like yeah, they weren't or get away from like BTs. Like they just weren't really that useful because of the lack of storms just rolling through the map. Also, like it's so weird that they teach you about the fire mechanic, which is really cool, but then like it never comes into play.
It's only in, like, one specific area or, like,
Yeah,
like a zone or whatever, and you just never really have to deal with it.
yeah, I get that must be the case. I never did repeat missions in that area where like you go save the kangaroo or whatever. I never
Mhm.
did more stuff there. So I'm like, I guess it's only here because that's like the most vegetation is. But yeah, it was just so weird. It's like, oh, they taught you about the thing. Oh, that's really cool. I was like, but then it never comes back. I'm like, okay, I guess.
It's like
But
each little zone or biome or whatever has its own thing. Because then you have, like, the sandstorms
mhm.
in the mountain area. So it's like it seems like each little area had its own weather thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like, there's also it's crazy, like, how many, preppers where it's like, if you get them to max level, you get, like, unique cutscenes, and also how many things are optional cutscenes, like, we talked about it before, you and I, about, like, when, Tarman talks about his kid, like, that's an optional cutscene if you find that picture in the book, or
Mhm.
learning about Dollman's what happened to his story, and, like, that cutscene and how he got recruited by, Fragile, and then, like, the scene where, from the trailer where Higgs has the tentacle tongue come out his mouth, like, that's just an extra scene that's a nightmare that happens if you fall asleep against the coffin board, and I'm like, "What?" And, like, it's so crazy, and so I like, watch, I'm like, "This is one crazy cutscene," and, like, they're just licking face with their tentacle tongues. Like,
Uh-huh.
it's so but then, like, the pizza chef, like, that weird, crazy fight you have with him, which I didn't do because again, I didn't get everybody maxed up to 5, but some of these I just saw after I heard about them after the fact. I'm like, because I kind of more mainline the MSQ in this one because I was streaming, that I didn't 5-star everybody like I did in the first game. Well, I didn't do everybody, but I did a lot because typically it's like, "Oh, they have a really good piece of gear. I want the top version of this."
Yeah.
And there are also some where it's like, "Oh, you don't get that great piece of gear until you get them to, like, star 2," but I don't know what it is. And I'm like, oh, I should have gone back to see what it was, because a lot of times that first star is kind of like, yeah, maybe you don't get anything, or it's like something small, and it's like, oh, you get to 2 stars, now you get the good shit. It's like, okay, but the auto grabber on the truck is so good. I love that thing. I'm like, this is great. I
You put
love
one on
this.
each side and it just like doop, 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 doop.
Yeah, and then the gun on it, I love how it has that gun. It's so funny, like, there's so many times in the game where it's like, there's that one part, like, "Oh, we created this chiral gun for fighting BTs," and it's like, I didn't put on the gun, but the mission was to go to collect stuff from a BT area, which I didn't. I should have known, like, "Oh, there's gonna be BTs here," but I didn't
Mhm.
put it on my vehicle. I'm like, "Damn it, so I can't take the vehicle here because there's all these BTs." But yeah, really fun overall. Getting the giant moon is really cool. I still need to go to, like, the topmost point of the map just so I could see, uh, get up there and above the clouds and everything. And if I could figure out what triggers the big moon, do that during a big moon would be really cool. But yeah, it was just a lot of fun. I know he said, like, "Oh, I have ideas for a third one if someone else wants to do it," but like, I don't feel like you need a third Death Stranding. Man, the scene where I kind of wish I got spoiled that Die Hardman was alive, because on the subreddit someone was like, "Who's this guy in the background?" And
Uh,
I don't think they played the first game, and it was when they were taking pictures of everybody, and like in one part of the DHU Magellan, if you're when you're taking pictures, he kind of sneaks by in the background and he waves
mm,
at the camera. So I'm like, oh, I know he's on the ship. And then I also didn't know, because someone else I was listening to a spoiler cast, and some when you and I don't know if you did this too, but when you talk to Charlie and Charlie says, pick a voice that you want me to use, and it's like you can pick Die Hardman, you can pick uh Margot Qualley's character, Mama. She has a different name. Oh God, what's her actual name? She just says, "Baby, I'm her mama," but she has a different name. Lochna's her sister. But what's her name? Oh God, it starts with an
I don't
M.
remember.
It's a lake, right? But and then it's like two other. It's a Hartman or someone else, I think. But I just picked Die
Um,
Hardman because I'm like, oh well, because Die Hardman's, they say at the beginning he's not the president anymore. I'm like, well, he's always the one talking to Sam, so I just picked Die Hardman as
mhm.
the character. But if you pick any of the other ones, it tells you like, oh, we can't do this one, it doesn't work. Oh, we can't do this, it doesn't work. So other people who did that knew that it must be Die Hardman as Charlie, because they couldn't pick any other options. But because I picked him, I didn't get that, so I had no idea. Because like, if I hadn't seen the subreddit thing, I wouldn't have known that, oh, he's just pretending to be Charlie the entire time.
Mhm.
Uh, but yeah, the game's so Metal Gear Solid 2. Like the AI thing about, oh, we're gonna take over. Yeah, yeah. Like I do like the idea that there was a void out at a data center, and that everybody that died, they had like this convergence because they all ended up on the one beach with the data and everything mixed together. I thought that was a cool concept. But yeah, it was so Metal Gear. I'm like, oh, okay, this is I see what's going on here. This isn't the kernel. But and then the dance sequence with Die Hardman was so silly, especially when he's dressed up like Charlie. I was like, "What is going on, man?"
We're just,
Uh,
like, silent through the whole thing. We're just, like, you don't even know what to say. You can't even laugh. You're just like, "I what happened? Where am I?
yeah,
What's going
what is
on?"
going on? And then like, I love how they do the Metal Gear Solid 4 thing when you're on the beach with the guitar, and like the DHV Magellan's just fighting the big BTs in the background,
Mhm.
like that. And when you see like when you're going through the microwave hallway and Rex or all the shit's going down, or you're fighting the geckos and Vamp is fighting Raiden on top of the Metal Gear Rex and stuff, like just
Mhm.
the split
Instead of
screen. I
being
was like,
like a split screen thing, it's framed as like,
yeah,
"See
it's
what's
just in the
going on in the
background.
background?" Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really
I
cool.
using as a guitar was a lot of fun, and then just the guitar duel you would have is so silly, but it's just so fun. And then yeah, I that bit where it was very like uh Vulcan Raven, where you're going through between all the data center servers and like trying to shoot them. Like, oh, this is so Metal Gear Solid 1. It's like it's just the Vulcan Raven fight, right? We're trying to shoot each other. Uh that's what we're doing here. And then, like, it was just there was so much Metal Gear in this game. It was nuts. I love to, at the end when you're going back to Mexico and you fight that giant crab BT, and then I threw one of the capture grenades into its mouth, like wanting to, can I capture this? And it's like, you caught it. I'm like, yo, I caught a giant BT. It's like, but I never did. I guess there's side missions where I guess at the Tar Lake you can fight a big BT. Like that's
Mhm.
where you would use it. And I was like, because I only ever caught the one when they teach you, but because there's so few BT spots, it never came up that I had to use it again outside of like that tutorial. I did bring out that BT I caught because I caught the squid one against the crab one, but it's like it's so small against the crab, like you just can't see it fight. Like I'll just shoot the crab because this thing's so goddamn huge.
He's trying his best.
Yeah, but it's funny because like they give you a timer, and I forgot about the timer being how long the BT stays. I thought it was how long I had to beat the boss. So, like, there's no way I can beat the boss in this time. It's like I'm screwed. But yeah, that game was a lot of fun. I wish there was more of those ghost motorcycles on the road, especially because I rebuilt so much of the highway. I wish there was more of that because like there's only the one main bit with the headless or the ghost bits, and then later I was doing something and they attacked me when I was driving on the road. One other time, I was like, okay, it'd be cool if they did it a little more frequently. But I think it's like only in that region of the map, not necessarily everywhere.
Yeah, it's just like a random event type of thing.
Yeah. And I do like that later once you get further in the story, like the mechs kind of become more of what the BTs were in the first game because they're in more locations
Mm-hmm.
and they float very much like BTs and whatnot. But when you beat it, it's like, oh, you can turn them off if you want, or you can have the world stay where they're on. I'm like, oh, I wish I could have done this. Like, I wish they could have been around a little earlier because I would have liked that. I guess I wish there was more like difficulty sliders in the game to make it a little more like the first one. I suppose because the problem with like I never felt like the difficulty in the first one at higher tiers made the BT bosses feel too spongy. But when I did it in this game, like they felt omega spongy. But there were so few of them that it doesn't really matter. And then they introduced that capture mechanics. Like okay, well this kind of can offset that. But yeah, I wish they allowed. I wish the difficulty triggered like more zones in which BTs could be and also maybe more of that rain because I like that I love traversing the world and just being like how do I navigate this BT spot, this timefall bit here, yada yada and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, when I'm carrying the printers, I'm like I'm just putting down zip lines and what have you. But yeah, it's just a fun. It's funny to say, but like a relaxing game to play,
Mm-hmm.
even though I'm like traversing like tough terrain and maybe Sam's falling down, but it's just fun. Like the music's good, it's beautiful looking. Like it's just I definitely it's a game I want to go back to and just like 5-star a bunch of prepper locations and whatnot. But
That's
yeah, and just the
basically what kept Michael playing it because like he would wait to do most major story stuff unless he stumbled in it on accident until I was home and we could like watch together or play together or whatever. But during the day, if he was home, he's just like, I think I'm just gonna drive around and build roads. I think I'm gonna do
yeah.
that for 6 hours.
I wanted to build more of the rails because I only built a couple sections. I built one to that first bit you have to do,
Hmm.
and a couple other spots later because I was like, oh well, I got the materials. I'm building the roads. Let's just rebuild the rails as well. And it's fun to ride. Like I'd love to ride the rail all the way across and just take that third person view and just look at everything and
Yeah.
especially if I was moving like mass amounts of material or something. But yeah, it's so funny how many times the ship breaks down too. It's like, Sam, we got tar in the vents. It's like you got to do all this because it's definitely like they pick you up and like can go around a lot. Does make it a little easier because it's such a better fast travel than using Fragile's method because you can take shit with you. But yeah, definitely they're all like, oh nope, you got to go across the map. I'm like, that's fine. I like going across the map.
I did like that they give you the ship and it's like, here's your fast travel. But if you do it with cargo, it's going to give you a bad rating or a low
Yeah,
rating or whatever. And it's like, people are still going to do that. Nobody's going to care. It's like, okay, we're just going to break it every 45 minutes.
yeah,
Now you
like
can't
yep,
use it.
you gotta clear out the vents, Sam.
This
We got tar in it.
is
But
going to be unavailable for 2 weeks. I'm putting a gun on it. What?
yeah, but yeah. So I got to go back and recapture more animals too, and put them in the preserve place because I didn't the animal shelter because I didn't do that. I just did the one, and like I'd always find animals. I'm like, yeah, if I capture you, I'm gonna like forget that I have to deliver you back to them, and you're gonna be stuck in the truck in a
It's just going to
box.
be in the truck for 4 days.
Yeah, and then I damage the truck or something, and then I forget to take it with me, or it's too far and despawns. It'd be funny. Oh, your animal's been delivered to the shelter. Other people do it, but yeah, it's just a fun game. I'm sure when it
Hmm.
comes to PC, it'll be if they do a director's cut. I was like, why would you do it? It's so silly that you director's cut of your own game. But like if they bring it to PC with more content, maybe I'll go back and play more of it there or something. It was so funny. Like I wear that little hat that makes the BT creatures like not aggro you, but I just got like this jelly on my head the whole time.
I love it. You get a little slime.
Yeah. It's so funny seeing people wear the rabbit hat and then just Sam being like Pecco, Pecco, Pecco. Like I'm like, why is he
Not
doing this?
understanding.
Yeah. What is he doing? But yeah, just a really good game. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I felt like it took a while for because I like when they give you the intrigue, like, oh, the president's like Sam, I'm on a private line, there's something going on, blah blah. Could be Bridges doing this and that, and I was like, they have all these little things, like, okay, what's going on with BB? I thought when I first saw the trailer, I thought the samurai was going to be like lose like BT somehow, like they're trapped on the beach, but Lou somehow possesses the samurai,
Mm,
which is what Dead Man does. Like it's him just doing it. But like I thought it was going to be Lou because of the baby giggle that it does.
mhm,
I was like, oh, it's Lou is going to be in there. And it's like, no, it's Dead Man. He's doing it and taking over Heartman when Heartman's on the beach. Like, okay, that's fine. You're back. But yeah, it was a. And I'm curious too, like when they do that thing at the end where you see Tomorrow in like the porter outfit. It's very like Uncharted 4. I'm
mhm,
like, oh, are you gonna do? Is like if we do a sequel, is it gonna be Tomorrow? I'm like, that'd be kind of cool. Give us the powers. That'd be dope. Like,
mhm. It'd be so cute, dude. She's like, "I'm like daddy."
yeah, I gotta go under the ground and oil slide under the surface and jump out and make stuff deteriorate quickly.
It just turns into a Platinum Games game. It's
That
like
really
it just it's Death Stranding Rising.
they'd have to like somehow lock it behind a like your stamina, but like a certain power level. It's like, oh, you gotta eat more necrobites or something to to bring your stuff back up. So it's like it's not too OP, but yeah,
Mhm,
that'd be fun to do. Uh, yeah, fun times. I'm curious if they'll do what they would do for like more content in a director's or in the PC version because I have a feeling they'll probably do something like they that little bit of that one mission in the director's cut when they brought it back. But yeah, it'll be maybe I'll go back and play it when it comes out there with the extra resolution and visual upgrades if they do there and stuff. But yeah, just a good time. All right, well, go ahead and wrap it up there then. We got that Death Stranding talk in. Again, I'll be curious to see what Isley says his theory was for the story. See, judge him for how silly he gets. Yeah, that'll do it. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Inside, for joining.
mhm.
We'll see you all next time.
Bye.